Sure. Good morning. So much like that. Yeah. Same job.
Morning, Ben.
Yeah. the recording.
Morning.
Not a whole. I was supposed to get out there, that thing. Yeah. What's happening at the shop?
Welcome back to the cold, Mark.
Warm out the landfill.
I love it.
No, weird to come back after a meeting.
Yeah. Come to work. Equipment's loud.
Shorts.
Oh, it's
Dry hot
much
weather.
fun.
Shorts for future.
Yeah. Looked like a fun trip.
Got two sons.
Yeah. 15 inches.
Oh, like.
Yeah, what?
At 14. 11 in Des Moines or something. I think I had 800.
Morning, Jane.
Man, that'd be
You
it.
can move one chair out of the way.
We,
We don't need
Years
my
to.
ago-
driveway was clean.
Years ago,
No.
Ripped it out.
Oh.
years ago, when I first moved to President, California, which is, it never snows. They had 12 inches on New Year's Day. Had no way to get rid of snow.
That, when know how to get around.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, no, oh, yeah, the drivers are just.
I could do it all over again.
Always goes too fast.
No one decides to drive slower in places
No.
like that.
I'm supposed to when there were people at my house.
Oh.
I noticed on B16 this morning, I remember 45 was the speed limit, which was, you get up on 52, it's all clear.
There's
So,
no
I mean,
hurry.
it was,
Okay, we don't mind bringing
but
them
they're trying.
wherever you want.
No,
Anything.
it's double.
I don't know what the commute time was like this morning for all this.
Yeah, everybody else as well.
But
Some places didn't.
Unless it was a
My family all left at the normal time, or actually a little bit extra early actually.
Some are full, didn't have down there.
Our road was.
But they had a vacation, that was a vacation. Thanksgiving. Yeah.
All right, it's 9:30. All those that so choose, please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the meeting to order with everyone present. As a reminder, the meeting is being recorded. If you choose not to be recorded, you have the option of leaving. First item on the agenda this morning, Jayne Schultz, the county recorder, with her budget review. Morning, Jayne.
I didn't have many changes. I don't know if you have any questions for me. Pretty much kept it the same as last year. The only one thing, this was, we do the boat renewals, those are on a 3-year cycle. So this was our year for boats, so I had to decrease that for next year. It won't be as much as last year. And I noticed when I was doing my audit, everything is up a little bit from the, prior year, so that's a good sign, but not quite where it was back in when recording, when there was a lot of refinancing and recording. It's up a little bit, but not quite as much as we'd like to see it. Transport's up a little bit, everything's up a little bit, there's more ORVs in the county. We get a few new ORVs registered. But that, we make $2 each one, so it's not a big, even if there's 1,000 more than there was last year, it's kind of, there's not that many, even if it's 100, I should say more like 100, it's only a couple $100. So.
Are you seeing anything, Jayne, as to changes in how things are gonna be done in the future as more stuff goes electronic and so forth? Do you see any, when you go to the ISAC meetings and so forth, or in meetings of recorders, what are they kind of forecasting as being trends?
Well, we already have a way to submit documents electronically. The recorders established that 20 years ago. So we've had the ability to record documents on a statewide system for 20 years. So I have seen more and more people, of course, once people get used to it and trust it more and more people. But we have some very busy local banks, so there's always going to be a certain amount of people that just bring documents in.
You and I had a conversation, a few weeks back, and I was asking you about the fraud issues that people hear about and so forth, and all the advertisements for title fraud, et cetera. And you said one of the dangers of the systems were whether or not those were fake notary stamps and so forth, and how much of an issue that could be. For the public to know, because they hear all these advertisements, what's your opinion?
And we always tell people, Iowa is either the last abstract state or one of the last 2 or 3 abstract states, which we always think that makes our system more secure than other states where they just buy title insurance. There's an actual visible record to everybody's property. And I had attended the PREA conference virtually. When was that? It's always right after Isaac. So September, I think it was. And it's certainly something they talked about on a national level. That's a nationwide, it's Property Records Industry of America. So this is across the country. And one of the things that legislatively states have done is to keep track of notaries, make them more accountable. One state has, anytime, I'm not sure how, I can't quite picture how this works, but anytime a transfer came in, they had a photocopy of the grantor's driver license. And they had to keep these actual physical copies in a safe place, in a safe in their office. And that was in Florida. I think it was just one county in Florida. So I can't quite picture, but anyway, people have tried different ways to, to prevent property fraud, but I don't know if it's been a big problem. One of the things for the fee modernization legislation that we have submitted is hopefully there will be a statewide fraud alert along with the statewide recording system. Because that state system is not only can you submit documents electronically for recording, you can also search all those. So a private individual, anybody, it's usually most used by people in the real estate industry, but certainly it's open to anybody can register, get a free account and search records. So that would be the greatest place to have a fraud alert system. We have people in our county certainly that have land in our county, Fayette, neighboring counties, more than just Winneshiek County. And so that would be a great way for them. There is individual counties, mostly larger counties, that have their own system through the county, but it's expensive. It's very expensive. So if we're hoping that it's initiated, able to be processed through the statewide system, that would be best.
One other thing that I've heard from some people who are concerned about farmland is that there are foreign entities, foreign countries coming in and buying land. Are you seeing that?
Not in Winneshiek,
Winneshiek
no.
County?
I mean, sometimes people, there's certainly land owned by LLCs, but you can look that up at the state. But that's something, I thought there was legislation for a limited amount of foreign owned land here in Iowa. I thought there was a legislation for that.
Yeah,
The statewide, not, yeah.
I've heard someone from Sweden just bought 500 acres of farmland. You know, and those kind of things are concerning for our local farmers, because sometimes I think it probably drives prices up unrealistically.
Already up there.
I'm not disagreeing with that by any means, but
Yeah, that's not something here in the county. I mean, I don't recognize everybody's name, but I worked for the county a long time and I certainly recognize a lot of names.
yeah, thank you, Jayne.
So, yeah. But I will tell you that a fraud alert, I mean, once, the downside of that is it's, you know, it's definitely a way to keep an eye on your property, but by the time the alert goes through, the deed is already recorded. So you just find out after the fact. That's how it works. And then you're still going to be, you know, there's gonna be a legal road to take, I suppose, to get that undone, because once it's recorded, it's recorded. Yeah. So we're looking at other, yeah, so that's why other states have looked at different things, like keeping track of notaries. I mean, that's really where you have to put your faith is, you know, when somebody signs in front of a notary that they've done their due diligence to make sure they are who they say they are. They're not required to make sure they own that land, but they do have to know, I mean, that's what a notary does, is to make sure that you are who you say you are.
And I think a lot of the frauds I've heard about, like there was one a few years ago where somebody was selling grease land.
Oh, my
I've never
goodness.
seen that one, but
No.
anyway, they had gotten digital images of notaries off
Oh,
of the public
yeah,
system and recreated
yeah.
them on these deeds to
Yeah.
sell this property that wasn't theirs. So
Yeah, but it's public record, you know, that stuff, and it's in one way. Yeah, it creates that, but on the other way, I think being public makes it more secure, on the other hand, you know, so.
well, hopefully your Recorders Association statewide will have something to press the legislature with as they go into
Yeah.
session this year to maybe help this problem. It's a concern for people.
Yes, yep, we've gotten a few calls about it. One of the reporters looked, I mean, it is offered by our solutions provider, software provider, but it's like $10,000 to set it up and then a monthly fee. It's 3,000, so yeah, some of the bigger counties have been. It's pretty,
More solutions issues.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's what it is, no matter what, yeah. It's not gonna be free.
Anyone have anything else for Jayne?
Thank you for calling.
Okay.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, Michael Kueny, the county engineer. It's like we have to set public hearing for road vacation.
Week, last week and this week for myself. Definitely. Engineers conference. Come on.
What day is that?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All right, I'll just jump right in. Like I said, a short week. Not a whole lot new here. Winneshiek County are the finalists for the bill grant. W14 south of Fort Atkinson was a submitted project. Nothing new this week. Probably in January we'll hear more about that. Railroad flat car bridge coordination occurred last week. We received a draft of Bridge 319. And did another draft 377. So it's expect to
Take on that draft.
I don't really have a take on it other than they're processing final work with. It doesn't look like it needs to be posted at this point in time. So they haven't finished their analysis, and I need to work with Chuck Brisson to see what we need to do, but nothing out of the ordinary as far as I can tell. But until both of them come in, I won't know if we have problems. So
Where are they both at?
they're 319 they're both, one of them's on Bear Creek Road there in the north of close to Highlandville, and then the other one is off of Middle Satchery.
Oh, okay, both of them.
Yeah, they are representative of, I think, a total of 5 bridges that haven't been enveloped, but
Okay.
so we only did 2 cuts for the 5 bridges.
Oh.
So, yeah, the bridge down over by 192A, I think, over by Ford. Can't remember all of my railroad flat car bridges. The one that's on
Trail River Road has that 1-lane one.
It does, but that one was covered by a previous study that this is supposed to be modeled off of. So, one of the things about that draft is it's not the words aren't as verbose as the previous study. So I'm going to work with Chuck Britson on getting that, what it is we might need for final. So.
15 pages of a lot of data, but
Yeah, and it's not. It doesn't tell you a whole lot explicitly. So, yeah.
Don't we have one that's a railroad tank car down in the southern part of the county?
Yeah, that's like culvert. Yeah.
And does that one need any special analysis?
That's a culvert. It's not a 20-foot span.
Okay.
So it's going to be treated as a culvert. So it gets inspected with our culverts. Subdivision data, nothing new this week. Quarry Hill, finalizing the final formal agreement. Nesty Valley, still need to get the discontinuation done this week. Secondary Roads has chosen a sign-in. We interviewed on Wednesday. Superintendent and I agreed on who we should hire. Do a request next week to hire sign-man. Wednesday was too short a turnaround to put it in the agenda. And then, like I said earlier, it's been a short week this week and the short last week. We're getting quite a few calls over the weather. My house, we had about 9 inches of snow. Northwest portion of up to 13 inches. Not everyone, but most of the crew was out Saturday and Sunday, full day. So specifics, I don't know beyond what I just told you. I don't know the specifics of individuals and their work time. So we have a lot of new blade operators, a lot of new routes. Please be patient. So.
Is the public being patient with you on it?
We haven't had a snow like this in 3 years, so it's a little bit, to say they're patient. I would say it's understandable where they're coming from. So, and just to bring up when I printed this out, I had someone come into the office regarding 133rd last week. We talked about trash on the road on 133rd. Another landowner came in and said there is no trash. So speaking of signs, putting up signs, we'll have to have that discussion. It's one versus, one person versus another person's, evidently there was a nice big lawsuit 10 to 15 years ago. So maybe it's bad blood and we're in the middle of it. So I don't think we'd be putting up any signs now.
What sign?
No parking on.
That's right. Thank
No
you.
parking on 133rd sign. I mean, people aren't supposed to park on.
That's what we talked about last.
Yeah, people aren't supposed to park on to go fishing or what. I know it happens. If you leave your car, is considered an obstruction at that point. But how do you get people to enjoy the nice streams?
The one up by Kendallville, that was a big to-do some years ago, where we put up some no parking signs.
That's the
Really,
Californians.
it was they talked about trash and
Mm-hmm.
things. Those were the excuses they used, but there were some of the local landowners that didn't like people using that as a canoe landing, basically, is what it boiled down to. And so that was where the signs ended up coming from, but county right of way is rightfully a canoe landing. I mean, you can walk through it to get your boat in, so.
Yes, it's just
Parking
parking is, you're not supposed to park there because it's an
Yeah.
obstruction. So it's just one of those, what do you do about it? We'll have to I think we'll have to revisit this probably in the spring when we can actually do something about it. But
Where you
right now-
can see if there's garbage or not. Right
Well,
now,
it's covered up.
Yeah.
And yeah, the other issue would be blocking of mailboxes, but that's probably not gonna happen at this point in time either, so. So we'll just keep that in a back pocket of things to do in the spring. That's all I have.
you have those two public
Two
hearings.
resolutions for the set the public hearings. Someone make a motion for both of them.
Pick some dates and times that it was coordinated with the landowners.
Yeah, I have not coordinated that with the landowners,
Okay.
so,
Maybe we should wait.
yeah, my understanding was that we would put the resolutions in and then we could, figure out the dates after the resolutions are,
We should have
We should have
know
it.
what date and time we're setting the public hearing.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Can you figure that out?
I can figure that out next week, yes. That's an easy thing to do today.
We usually.
I just want to review this, make sure there's not any dates, because I was looking for the dates and there wasn't any dates on this.
And we'll usually
So-
need at least 3 weeks out to get time to do the notice in the paper and the mailing to the landowners, so.
So, all right, I'll coordinate that with the landowners to get a date that works for them. And get back to you. Sorry about that. There's some confusion on that.
Like you said, it was a short week.
It was a short week and my head was trying to clean out my inbox, so.
Yeah, and actually by next week, you may want to just wait till January to do them anyway, because you don't want to do them when they aren't available during
Sure.
Christmas or something.
Sure. I will get that done and have it ready for you next week.
Anyone have anything else? Mike?
I do.
Nope. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Have fun.
Well,
Consent agenda?
All I have is for a minute.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion is second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Any reports?
I had Northeast Iowa Community Action last night, and they are, we're kind of in our fundraising stage again for the fall. So if anybody would like to give money to Northeast Iowa Community Action for heating assistance programs, Head Start, housing, weatherization, they do so much. And their November report is printed out and on the table over here, so please do take a look. And last Saturday or the Saturday before, it was 2 Saturdays ago, the Landing Market, Pete Espinoza and the Landing Market gave 20% of all proceeds to Northeast Iowa Community Action for that day. They're doing every Saturday in the month, the next 4 Saturdays or three are left. And they raised over 1,000 that day in proceeds for community action. So it's great for the food pantry. And I think they're doing it for Decorah Food Pantry too, and a couple other programs. We hit them on a good day for Northeast Iowa Community Action. There were sports teams in town at Luther for competition. And one team went in and all 8 at the landing. It was great. Thank you to Pete.
Had a Hawk meeting last week. Just basically working through plans for the reorganization of business plan structure. It's still a little bit indefinite because the state really hasn't just made this final decision yet anyway, so. But we will have a potential plan in place for that if that happens.
Maybe a little more clarity.
Wait and see. I think basically it's the legislature's gonna have to make a decision about it at this point.
Yeah, we've got a ISAC District 2 meeting on Thursday in Mason City. It's a regional, 6 regions.
I think 3 of us are going. You're going. You're going.
Road is clear. Drove it last night.
Sounds good.
I had a local entity or whatever, and had a discussion, they're looking to hire a HR person and wanted to know maybe if they're, I said, well, we can maybe split or, work with them, split share the cost of our HR.
Hire one full-time person.
Full-time, they're looking to hire.
Full places.
It's a government or, like saying who it is, but it's, yeah, they're. I said, yeah, we'd be interested.
It's worth discussing because we
Yeah.
are desperately
In need.
missing in that area for the employees' sake.
I think we'll all agree on that.
Yeah, so I told them I'd, bring up and I can contact the person and see if they would want to come to the table or whatever. That's it.
Well, that's a
Close it.
good stopgap beginning.
Well, when you had the discussion with them, it was too late to put on. the
Yeah,
agenda.
yeah, so I can't.
And have we heard anything back from our legal advisors on their what we've tasked them to do as far as our systems?
All of the policies, and so I thought we haven't gotten the report from them yet on that. She's collected quite a bit of the data. I
But
think.
she hasn't been up for the interviews yet or anything of that nature.
Nothing else.
Are there any budgets we can go over today?
Well, most of the ones that are left, I'm still collecting information. They weren't ones I could just do. I brought all those last
Not the
week.
ones you take care of.
Well, there's still quite a few I do, but some of them are like the pass-throughs for economic development and the landfill and the farmland. I need to know how much the lease gets signed for and different ones that I just need a little more information yet. So I'm waiting to get, I'll trickle those in as I get what I need.
But the county guys did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
100 miles of roads is a lot of snow to remove.
You got the wind blowing. It makes it
A little tougher.
Did all of you have a good Thanksgiving? I think I might be the only one in the room that likes the snow. It's a prettier. Me too. And I think the kids are happy to have snow. Playing.
That's good for them.
And cross-country skiing. All of it.
Really, I think our community meal did something like 450 some meals with the people that were at church and the ones that were taken to their homes. It was
Great.
a lot.
Yeah, I know they delivered quite a few.
It was really good.
How many? 400 and.
I think it was around 400 or maybe 450.
Did they run out of turkey?
No, they had 18 turkeys, 120 pounds of potatoes.
You gotta have
It was
to-
quite an affair. I mean, to organize all that, Tom Hansen's bigly, he's involved with that, but plus a lot of other people, so. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Very needed,
He's
appreciated.
worked on that for something like 25 years.
27, he said.
27 years.
Yeah, yeah. And it's been going on, I think, for 9.
Awesome.
Planning comes pretty easy when you've been doing something for that long.
But, it took, I don't know how many, I think there were 8 groups of people that took the meals around, so they got that done in an hour. Kirsten Olson, because he knows the routes from being the mailman and everything, he was able to chart that down, how to do it most efficiently, so everybody participated.
You tell him a house number, he'll tell you the history.
Yeah, really.
It's amazing.
All right, next item on the agenda. That's Goedken, City of Decorah. Good morning.
Doing today? All made it? All right. Well, just wanted to come and give an update and express, Thanksgiving, express my thanks. We would have been here last week, but when it came time to post the agenda, myself, Mark Holte and Stephanie Brown were in Des Moines with the CAT grant application, and that board met. Unfortunately, with the passing of Josh Dansdale, he was very involved, heavily involved with writing the CAT grant. So unfortunately, it was us 3 that only drove down to represent. The committee reviewed the application, ended up making a recommendation to the full board for $1 million. And the full board approved a $1 million CAT grant to the city of Decorah for the Decorah Athletic Complex. Want to express my appreciation for the county's contribution, because again, without that, that $1 million would have went elsewhere. So, thank you. At this point, we are 128,000 from the full build out of that complex. All 4 diamonds, permanent concessions, restrooms, storage, 8 pickleball courts, lighting associated with it, playground, both batting cages, essentially the entire planning effort that was done. We're this close to being able to build out the entire thing in one swoop.
Does that come with a concrete parking lot?
No, that does not.
That's okay. That's not permeable. I'd rather not have a contract.
Yeah, we heard a lot of people say that. We don't want to pay for a pavement of any kind in the parking lot. So,
Congratulations to all of you that were involved in that project.
So I was a little surprised that you got the full million.
that makes 2 of us, maybe 3 or 4, but no, actually Stephanie was very optimistic and really pushed. We did get confirmation that if we applied for $1 million and we didn't reach the threshold of the tourism portion, so that's what makes us eligible for $1 million, is if they view it truly as a interstate, not just intrastate within the state of Iowa, but drawing from Minnesota, Wisconsin. If they view it as a regional tourism draw, then it's eligible for up to $1 million. And so that's where we went from $500,000 to $1 million, and got it. So again, want to express my appreciation for the board's consideration and contribution. Again, without we wouldn't have been eligible. What questions you guys have for me?
No, if you did not receive that, grant,
Mhm.
it would have went elsewhere within the state, correct?
Correct. Yes.
I just want the
Thanks for bringing
public
it
to
home.
understand that,
The money was going someplace.
Mhm.
because I did take a little heat off that.
No, this is brand new information.
But the positive is, it's in Winneshiek County, so if the money's gonna go somewhere in Iowa, might as well go here.
Correct.
And our proximity to Minnesota and Wisconsin. It's wonderful for that tri-state environment.
Well, I have one question for you.
Yeah.
It's kind of off topic, Travis, but we, we need your help and we need to begin this process
Okay.
more definitely. And that's on the issue of the recycling bins and what
Mhm.
happens there. So the school has noticed that those have to move by March.
Mhm.
And that's a service that the county has done for the city of Decorah and throughout the county. And it's
Mhm.
something that is very, very important, and it's been a good service for the citizens of Decorah. So we need your help as to, we have no location,
Mhm.
which we need from you. The city's we need you to step up and tell us where those bins can go.
Mhm.
Right now, our struggle this morning was no snow clearance, and it was it's a rough day out there to try to get that. So, and
Yeah, I
the road
bet.
department wasn't sure if they could do that. So
Yeah.
I don't have any other things to say with that other than we need your help on this, and we need to be able to make plans to move, because we're gonna all of a sudden reach the end. The school says, get them out of there, and we have no plan in place. And I know
Place to go.
you made some good progress. I'm envious of the fact that your city council sat down and did 2-year planning of your goals for the next 2 years and so forth. But we need a similar thing, because we want to make sure that the recycling is keeping things out of the landfill and it continues to be a very good component of what we do for Winneshiek County.
Right. And I've met with management a couple of times, including on site for a few sites that we've kind of narrowed down to a few options. The unfortunate part is I don't think we have a good permanent location at this point. Got a few temporary options, for example, just north of the city hall location. We've received that land released from the Army Reserve lease, so we got that portion back. Problem is, there's side fencing at this point. We did have to remove a portion of the fencing since it's detached from the reserve center again. But it's dirt, and it's not something, I don't think anybody wants to put pavement in on a temporary basis. And so that's a possible short-term location, because we're trying to achieve different housing goals, and that's one location we're targeting. Same with the fire station project. We're trying to figure out what we're doing there. And that's where, again, if we did a temporary location, maybe on the asphalt that's in the Army Reserve Center lot, the portion that was released to us, we're not going to want to install permanent fencing throughout there. We're not going to want to expand that without knowing if a fire station's going there. So that's what we're trying to figure out at this point. Happy to help where I can. I've been talking with a member or two of the fair board as well about possible options there. The hard part is, you guys were talking about it with the parking. I just caught the tail end of it with the engineer, but the garbage, unfortunately, not everybody is a good resident. And, I think it was during Nordic Fest this year, somebody dropped off a mattress there and it sat there for weeks. And, with paper products and stuff, it all blows along the fence line. That's our big struggle when we try and find a spot. We get a lot of pushback, maybe from adjacent properties and stuff on that location.
You probably get more pushback if the residents of Decorah lost the service, because they've been, we've done a lot of educating, and a full-time educator that's trying to make sure that we're doing a better job from keeping these things out of the landfill. And I got to say, I think that Decorah has done an excellent job of pretty much policing that. There's 10 containers down there, and there's a lot of opportunity I know I've had conversation with our manager of the program, says we have to, we'll put some poles in and put some fencing along the side if we have to, but we need to see forward progress, because we got 90 days basically, and the school's going to say goodbye.
Right. Yep.
There have been talk about reusing the fence that's on that softball land.
Mhm.
It's gonna be removed. Yeah, county could sign that up eventually. If we can procure that. You know, and leasing it right now, I know the Boy Scouts do their occasion pick up the trash down there, which has been nice, thanks to them. So it's good, but I think Decorah needs to have a site, and it's been a struggle so far, like, well, the school now owns it, it's in the city. Who maintains the lot? Now it's the snow clearing. Talk about working together. Right now, 3 entities are back in their corners, it seems like, and we sent somebody down with a blade to fill the potholes, and, you know, it's not a huge responsibility, but somebody needs to be assigned that responsibility.
Mhm.
It would be nice if the city could, till it's done, maintain that lot, since it's kind of right in the middle of where they're driving through and by. Rather than saying it's not ours, and the school doesn't seem to want to do it either, since it's their property though, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, when asked last time about putting additional rock and stuff into that parking lot, I will admit, I responded with a bit of, well, why are you looking for us to do improvements to that parking lot when you're going to, we were originally told August. That parking lot was gonna be tore up and that was gonna be the start of the new school building. So at that point, it really didn't make much sense to add more rock in June, if in August, it was gonna be a pile of dirt.
We sent somebody on the blade and just moved the rock that's there,
Mhm.
we had to add in rock,
Gotcha.
just rework.
Yeah.
But if we've got 3 months of trying to get through this, it'll be nice if people could sit down and make a decision, because the public who wants to suck that.
So in addition to that, this is a little different, but a similar solution we're trying to work out. It was brought up to the council about potential curbside collection. If we did a contract with whether it's Malcolm or Shimek or another provider for just curbside collection. And then those bins don't need a permanent home where, you know, for example, myself, I used to pay Malcolm every 2 weeks. I think they came by the house and picked it up. And we're exploring that as a potential solution as well. And I've been talking with wastewater management about that and what that looks like. And including ensuring that the contract would say you need to take all that material out to that site. Because as we're all well aware, the whole premise behind it is for the county to generate revenue and help offset taxes. So we would ensure that all the material goes out there as well.
Yeah, it's really the percentage, because of the way the recycle market has gone, is much smaller percentage of the total budget that gets reimbursed because of
Right.
selling the product. But the bigger issue is the longevity of the landfill and the cost of bringing that in. That keeps our overall trash down.
Yep.
One of the concerns over another vendor doing curbside is oftentimes what they're doing is called a single stream, where they're mixing everything together. We're not configured to be able to handle that.
Right.
So the cardboard has to be separated.
Yep.
And that is an issue. And then we've got the 2080 agreements and so forth that are in place, you know, all give us a basis of this stuff is generated in Winneshiek County, is supposed to remain in Winneshiek County. And we certainly don't want it in a landfill.
Right. No, I agree.
We're very fortunate to have one of the best landfills in the state.
So when you do curbside collection, you do see your participation increase. There's no denying that, the data behind that. So that's one of the reasons why some members of council want to see that enacted, because it does increase the participation. Because now I don't even have to load it in my car, drive it. It's literally putting it outside. I've run both in my previous role. I've run both single stream as well as curbside sort. Now, completely understand the facility out here is not set up for single stream. While more effective, curbside sort can still be done as well. That it's just essentially it's the bins that you have on a box that as they're being collected, they're just divided up right there. So it can be done. It's not as effective as single stream, but it can still be done.
And if need be, I'll be more than happy to meet with your office, probably Mark also. We work closely with Recycle.
Yep.
With our new manager, et cetera.
Happy to do it. Great. Any other questions for me?
No, but that's very helpful. Thank you, Travis.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's huge.
I
Yes.
have one comment. I'm just tag team. I wanted to acknowledge the work that Josh Stansdale did for our community, for the county. I talked to him probably on one of the days that they were working on the grants from outdoor, and I said, thank you so much. It was over 200 and some pages that grant was. But he also he was so unpretentious, respectful, and he had helped so many nonprofits to be able to get grants as his position at RCND. But I wanted to bring that before the board too, and just acknowledge what a key person he was. He will be missed. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, for your service of all these years. Yeah. Give me a call this afternoon.
The days are winding down.
Winding down.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, Andy Vandernotten, County Attorney.
Good morning.
Good morning, Andy. What do you have for us this morning?
I don't believe so.
Not a bad thing. Merry Christmas, Andy.
Does anyone have anything for Andy? No.
I do not right
I
now.
do not.
Well, that was quick.
Well, keep in touch.
All right.
Thanks.
Want to have anything else for discussion?
I think what the city was doing, reading that article about their 2-year planning session and so forth, stuff they were doing, that would be a good thing for us to pursue. So I want to engage Upper Explorer Land to be involved.
Long range planning is always good.
I think there's
Yes,
enough.
but there's so many moving variables out there.
Oh, there's
going on.
But you have to start someplace.
I know.
Well, I think just from a priority standpoint, it's just up the whole one parking lot here, we have to replace the roof with the dome, or I mean, you gotta look long term and figure out when that's gonna happen. At some point, something is gonna have to be done about the dome. And at some point, the roof is gonna have to be addressed, whether insurance or the installer pays for it or we pay for it, but those are, they need to put in a budget somehow.
Yeah, none of you might still be here when we do the dome, but I might still be here, so.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to be able to say, hey, we've saved up
Right.
half the price or whatever, but the current,
Well,
with the current, the way it is, there's no way you can save up any money, so.
and if we
Also-
don't have it on the budget, we need to start looking for outside money. I mean, something like that dome with historic preservation, and we need to, we're exploring, somebody needs to help us look for outside grant money to help with some of these projects, potentially, the ones on the building especially. And this isn't the only structure we own that needs.
I would invite everyone on the board to go take a trip upstairs, like Mark and I have. You will find it to be a real eye opener. And I mean, all the way up inside the very top where the copper is up above.
It's,
Yeah.
I don't know that.
You find it shocking.
the good news is, I mean, the work that has been done up there has been a huge plus. It's pretty rickety before that, I'm sure.
Where are we at on payment of the leaking?
On the what? I'm sorry.
On whose fault? Where are we at on that conversation?
The
Are we
architect,
dead?
the architect had right place where we are from the start. The architect hasn't done any more as far as I can tell. And no one has come up with, nothing's gonna happen until spring now. But getting him to look at that material that I believe has failed and is flawed. Mark's seen it, he's of the same opinion. To see brand new roofing has cracks down through horizontally across it doesn't bode well for good quality material.
It's an odd thing. We've got, this bump out here has roof issues.
Yeah,
That
the one
need to be
back, corner
addressed.
back over there, it's got a gutter issue and those we'll deal with in the springtime, but
Anyway, and I think the downstairs entrance level probably needs to be addressed at some point in time. Some of the facilities in there.
we have, the last thing up in the courtroom will probably happen after whenever Judge Parrish says, we got the last thing to do upstairs in that respect is the carpet in her law library and her office, that stretch right through there, plus repainting. That she has to give us a go ahead when she wants that done and when it fits with all the schedules that happen. Right now, our flooring person is not really available because they're doing all the flooring at Ozzy Hagen, so they're a little bit occupied.
I think that move in is the 13th or 15th or somewhere. Of this month, yeah. If I'm not mistaken. That court work, we don't get reimbursed for that. But we're taking that out of our supplemental budget, the repair work up there.
That's out of John's budget, his maintenance budget.
Can we split that out into supplemental?
We probably could have if we had planned it that way. I mean, next year, if you have more, you could.
Not that much, man.
Yeah. Then, yeah, it wasn't budgeted that way this year, so
Next year, looking at it that way, and
we'll be doing at least
Everything.
doing the.
the heat and
the
the utilities,
Yeah,
and part of the janitorial too.
we haven't done that yet, but we could consider that.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Every little bit, yeah.
Makes a
Yes.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
A motion and a second for adjournment. All those in favor, say aye.
That's what I heard. Shirley was first on adjournment,
At least I got in on a second.
but Mark came through.
I think we kind of. I have to go out. I'm flying out Monday afternoon. So. We got a little bit of a white agenda.
Okay, I will not be.
I went next week.
You gotta quit those things.
Next Monday. Is that the
You can
one?
put MSDS sheets, a lot of
What?
stuff is in that. When you die.
Well, I'm down to one a day, so I used to drink several, but now I'm down to one a day.
We're gonna have a little.
But how many?
About two. I had one early this morning. This was my second one. Obviously.
You haven't done a lot on that one yet. Yeah, we were kind of running out of place to park snow in there, out there in Florida.
No.
Yes. I
Do you want to give those to me now, or do you want?
Yeah. Ethan. Okay. I'm not gonna go. Christmas. We're going to be Wednesday morning. I'll be back. I'll be back. With myself and that's and bake.
I think they were planning to have a meeting on the 22nd. That's everybody else's plan yet, right? That one I know that. Including me. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go. That's actually. All right.
Anyway, so I guess, I don't know how heavy the agenda would be.
I don't know what's on there right now, but
I will not be here.
And Dan.
And Dan needs to get out of town early.
yeah, I've got a note for that to
So
kind of
just
make
a
sure
heads
we're
up.
not no later than 11. is what
Yeah.
we're planning.
If there's anything super,
How many board members are there?
Still 3.
then I can call in. too. See you later. Run.
Get a hold of you.
Okay, we're down to 2,
Oh,
Fatima.
yeah, talk to him. Okay, yeah, talk to him about it too. We're also.